Moon rising over Phoenix, Arizona. It's the Saturday evening nightcap to the United Soccer League schedule. Welcome to Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex as a team safely in playoff position. For the moment, Sacramento Republic go on the road to take on Phoenix, who could move to the playoff bubble with a win tonight. Hello, everybody. Mike Watts alongside Mike Pepper. Glad to have you with us. And when you think about Phoenix, they're without offensive threat Didier Drogba tonight, no Omar Bravo either. We'll talk about that during the show. For Sacramento, they have a former Arizona United player in Ty Blackwood, who's very much an offensive threat.
Oh, absolutely. The Englishman not only leads the team, or at least tied for the lead with 6 goals, including the game-tying goal against Swope Park on Wednesday night. He leads the team in shots as well, 52. He's going to be very active on the offensive front. He'll need to do that, including the weekend at Bernie's there. That would be nice for Sacramento.
It's okay. Meanwhile, Jason Johnson, he's great at making his way through the back line with pace. That's the scouting report against Sacramento.
Oh, absolutely. And again, my favorite birthplace ever. Happy News, Jamaica. Jason Johnson certainly been doing that many times this year. 5 goals, tied with Didier Drogba on the season. He's hoping to do that as well for his team tonight.
When was weekend at Bernie's? 1993? Here's the starting lineup for Sacramento. 3 in the back. It could look like 5 at times, though.
Yeah, I think when you look again at that, they're going to go ahead and on the road at a difficult place. It's going to be a hot atmosphere. They're going to go with that group there that has given them the results over the last couple months of the season that's kind of vaulted them back into playoff position.
Hall and Christian are back from yellow card accumulation suspension. For Phoenix, a couple of changes in their own right.
Yeah, and when you start to see what they're going to throw in there, and it's still Drogba's not quite able to get in there. This team has gone on the road. They've gotten 5 points in the last 3 games. It's something they want to come back to home. They haven't been home since the 29th of July. They're going to try and get those bodies here tonight to get them much-needed 3 points to get them into that playoff race.
No team has played fewer games in the West than Phoenix. They're on a 3-game unbeaten streak, but they dropped 4 points on the road. For Sacramento, they've been great at home. They've struggled away. Who comes out on top? We find out next.
At Pruitt's, savings and style live comfortably together. And right now, the selection has never been better. Just look at this 3-piece Sonoma Chaise sectional, only $599. And this urban casual 4-piece bedroom, just $499. Visit Pruitt's for the lowest prices and best selection. Alma School and Ray or Thomas Road and 34th Street. Pruitt's, proudly serving the Valley for 65 years.
The world is watching Phoenix Rising FC because international soccer legends Didier Drogba and Shaun Wright-Phillips are playing together for Phoenix, giving this city the high-quality soccer fans have been waiting for. So get your tickets now before they sell out Saturday, September 2nd against Seattle Sounders FC2. Phoenix Rising FC, our city is rising and the world is watching.
It's all about the food. You really need to have a passion for what you do and a passion for food. The Big Kahuna, it's 12 ounces of ground beef, topped with some cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, homemade pickle. I mean, it's just a huge meal. I believe in a scratch kitchen because I'm passionate about the food that we serve our guests, and I love seeing people enjoy the food that we create.
Soccer fans, you're watching Phoenix Rising FC, and tonight it's Military Appreciation Night, and I have 2 very special guests with me. We have Dick Lesser, Naval Air Corps, and Bert Fiat, Army Air Corps from 2 World War II vets. Thank you guys very much for coming. On behalf of the organization, thank you guys very much for your service. I was talking to both of them today. This is their first soccer match in person. Dick, I'll ask you first, what are you expecting tonight?
I haven't got the vaguest idea.
And what about you, Bert? What are you expecting tonight?
Well, I have a neighbor who's a great soccer fan from England, so he's going to explain the whole game to me. So
Perfect. Now, just out of curiosity, what is your favorite sport?
Ice hockey.
Ice hockey.
Football.
Football. All right. So we got ice hockey, football. I think you guys are going to become lifelong soccer fans after tonight for sure. Now, tonight, as part of Military Appreciation Night, the club has donated to 6 local veterans groups 1,000 tickets. As veterans yourself, how important is it when the community reaches out and welcomes you to events like this, like tonight?
What was that? I didn't quite get it.
As a veteran, how important is it when the local community reaches out to veterans to bring them out to events like this?
Oh, I think it's terrific. I've been volunteering for years.
Awesome. And Bert, how special is this for you?
Well, it's very special for me because I think that the veterans really deserve to be treated in this way, and I hope they all enjoy soccer games, you know.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much again. Thank you very much for your service, and I hope you enjoy your very first soccer match tonight.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much, and back to you guys.
Jose Bosch is the third most impressive interviewee there. No offense to him, but it's good to see the veterans out with the anthem just finishing in Phoenix on Military Appreciation Night. The focus turns toward what Patrice Carteron and his team can do here tonight to find a win after a couple of gut-wrenching draws.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You coming back home and you can go in front of the crowd, and it's a great crowd there on the Military Appreciation Night. I remember the best anthem ever, Whitney Houston at the 91 Super Bowl, of course. She had that 93 hit, I Will Always Love You, which just totally tore it up. But it is so much fun here to watch a team that has been on the road for as long as they have, and they're going to go ahead and get a chance to go back in front of that home crowd.
That's right, but the winning song in the Grammys in 1993 was actually Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. So wow. I think we'll maybe find out whether or not that plays an equal role, as Patrice Carteron has gone over to shake hands with Paul Buckle. The referee's standing by with Peter Ramage. It looks like Sacramento has moved on to the game at hand instead. It's another great crowd here at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex tonight. Now comes the captain, Emra Clementa, on the other side for Sacramento, a group that started really well, then struggled under Paul Buckle, and it seems like they've found their sea legs again. Yeah,
those struggles were really inexplicable. You start to see what the team did last year, then the struggles that really into that, but as you pointed out, they're firmly entrenched into that playoff position right now and have been playing so much better over the last few months in order to get themselves back to where they are.
A 3-game winning streak ended against Reno a couple games back. They picked up a draw midweek against Swope Park Rangers, and now for Sacramento Republic, they're going to try and pick up an important result on the road. They're in 5th right now in the Western Conference. And if they find a way to pick up 3 here tonight, it could be absolutely massive for their playoff home field advantage hopes and expectations. Here's a look around the United Soccer League in the Eastern Conference. So many big teams fell among the top 6. Haji Berry didn't play for OCB. They knocked off Louisville tonight.
Surprising, as Louisville had been as good as anyone lately, moving into the top of the East, but then just welcome themselves. You get to number 1, and hey, we're going to welcome ourselves with a loss. Charlotte didn't do themselves any favor losing to the bottom team in the East in Toronto, which is crazy.
And then Richmond picks up a win as well.
Charleston loses. Yeah, insane.
The East is a mess.
Yeah, and the West here, and you pointed it out in the open as well, the games in hand for Phoenix, it's so important, but you're getting to the point that almost every one of these games is a playoff race. And the last time really a big playoff race for these Phoenix fans was when the Suns lost to the Bulls in 1993 in the NBA Finals.
No, that's not true. There's been other stuff.
Well, you had the Diamondbacks go on and win a championship, but I'm talking as far as getting into that playoff race. The Diamondbacks throughout were just kind of that. They spent the money with Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling, so they knew that they were going to be in the playoffs. But you saw Charles Barkley. They were the underdog against the Michael Jordan and the Bulls in '93.
Right. 1993 was a massive year in Phoenix sports as you see Phoenix Rising on their way out onto the field. Mike Watts, Mike Pepper with you, serenading you with all your favorite items of 24 years ago. Well, one of us is serenading you. One of your favorite people from 24 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cortez on his way out. He scored the first goal in the history of Orange County's new stadium out of Mission Viejo, just 11 short miles away from Orange County's new home. And he was able to pickpocket the goalkeeper, Charlie Lyon, and pick up a goal in that game. It finished 1-1. Shola Abalaji scored in the 89th minute. Can they find that elusive win that the last couple of games has been so close to them, and will they finish with 11 men? We're underway. Alessandro Rigi and Phoenix Rising taking on Sacramento Republic. And Johnson immediately getting in behind. He's on the turn. Wright Phillips skips all the way through. It's Rigi! Well, that was almost a dream start for Rising against Sacramento, opening 20 seconds.
Well, amazing there. Rigi, you got to put that on target and test him. The amazing start up into the box. Johnson just did an amazing job of getting it across, sent it in. Rigi's 12 yards out. You got to test Newton.
Rigi, who came back just a couple short weeks ago looking for goal number 3, didn't miss the mark by very much here.
No, but with that, you just got to put it on target. Force Newton to make the save.
Newton starting game number 18 of the year for Sacramento has wrested the job away from Dominic Jacobek. When you talk to Paul Buckle, he feels like he's in a similar situation to Phoenix. They both think they have 2 solid number 1s. And when you look at the West, with San Antonio certainly standing out as well, there are a lot of teams that think they have 2 very quality goalkeepers.
And really, it's becoming more important that you do have a second goalkeeper, particularly to give rest to a lot of these teams with the U.S. Open Cup run. They'll have that into the season. You want to be able to give your other guy just a night or 2, and sometimes having that second keeper just does play into your favor so much.
Josh Cohen gets the call to move to the bench after starting for the better part of 3 months, and Carl Wazinski makes his 4th consecutive start for Phoenix Rising. The attack on for Sacramento up the right-hand wing. On to Hall. Reversing right now, it looks like 3 in the back, and you've got 2 very capable fullbacks, Horde on one side and Kiffey on the other. This Republic group.
Kind of been able to move them a little bit forward and get those opportunities.
Jordan Stewart takes over, who spent 4 years with San Jose in Major League Soccer. Johnson, that's an intelligent move, and he glides up the wing again. Johnson the service, Cortez the target, bouncing through. Will stay in play, it's Rigi again. And the Canadian drives in. And back to Cody Wakasa, who starts for the 2nd consecutive game.
First couple minutes and able to get all kinds of space, Johnson.
Rigi, is this a lesson learned? Not just yet, off of Hall. The turn on Christian, Cortez. At the byline, out for a corner. Last deflected by Kiffey.
Well, Phoenix able to get down and put the balls across. So far, they haven't really been able to connect onto that open man, but right there is an opportunity here, and they will get a chance on this corner kick.
Sean Wright Phillips. Wright Phillips takes a deflection and comes out for Watson. Circling back, the English Premier Leaguer. Wright Phillips looking for Rigi. Watson, Rigi. Was cut off by Horde. And now the ball lined towards the net. It's caught by Newton. Trying to chip into the upper right corner.
Yeah, it looked like try to see if Newton might be asleep. Maybe instead of sending that ball in, I just don't think he got enough curl on it, although it would have been on target, was Ramage.
Rambo thought he would give it a try. Up the left-hand wing, Wakasa trailing away. It's backstopped by Casares. Rigi stepped in, Christian backstopping this time. Start number 18 of the year. Hall will try the right.
Jeremy Hall dropping a little further back here, just setting up that in, looking to find it. Can't quite connect with Nishaw.
Wide of Wazinski, and a goal kick for Phoenix after 5 minutes complete in Arizona. Wazinski started 24 times last year, had 5 shutouts, has won this year to his credit. Johnson moving to the middle of the field, got a touch. Now Wright Phillips over the back line. Guided by Kiffey, back to Christian.
And he's content to let them come out to the third. Once they get to that third mark, though, that pressure will increase.
Rodriguez dishes up the right-hand side. Bit of space opening up.
It's a careless ball. You try and drive it, you got to beat that man because an opportunity on the counter.
Here comes Rigi. His through ball for Cortez. Deflected wide. Picked up by Hall. Up the line for Wilson Nishaw. Scored 5 times and assisted 4 more. And there's the Mexican Carlos Rodriguez, 21 years old, playing at the center of a 3-back look for the Republic tonight. Horde. Was fouled, and Sacramento a free kick across the midfield line.
Here's this Phoenix team. You mentioned Didier Drogba. How much more dangerous they can be when you have a great goal scorer. He's not available tonight.
On the other side, Sammy Ochoa is a surprise admission from the 18, the former Tulsa Roughneck, who is among the team leaders in goals scored. And yet it seems right now like the offense is humming pretty well without him, and so for the present moment, they'll go with the group they have. Trevin Caesar has turned it on of late. Nishaw and Blackwood, fantastic goal scorers. Up the line for Partain. Hayden Partain. That's out, a goal kick. Meanwhile, news coming out of Phoenix, a press release put out by the team in relation to Omar Bravo, who hasn't played in some time now. A roster spot was opened for international player to step in. He's not on the current active roster, but training with the club. Omar reached out to Patrice Carteron about a possible move, but since decided to remain with the team and continue to work with his teammates. They still believe that international experience so very much important, and so Bravo will continue to be a mentor, but has agreed to becoming an active player at the present moment, giving the team an extra international roster spot. He came to Patrice Carteron about 2 weeks ago and had a bit of a change of heart, and so Omar Bravo's role has adjusted a little bit, although when you look at guys like Cody Wakasa and Victor Vasquez, a lot of these younger players, Bravo's really taken them under his wing.
Yeah, and you know, practicing with the team still, they can learn from that international experience that Bravo does or bring to the organization. But again, you know, the decision to kind of step back right now is one that's still being adjusted to.
A corner again for Sean Wright Phillips, who trots over. Won it all with Chelsea in the EPL in 2006, 35 years old. No spring chicken in his own right. Wright Phillips. Cortez! Phoenix scores quickly. Chris Cortez has scored in 2 games running, both in the opening 20 minutes. 1-0.
Beautifully taken on the corner. I was just going to mention Wright Phillips has got to clear the front man, the corner from the other side. So often on that in swinger, it's easier to get right over the defender. That was the case in Cortez. Beautiful job of just keeping it going on target, and the Rising with the 1-0 lead.
Sean Wright Phillips, a terrific service. Assist number 2 of the year. And Chris Cortez scores for Rising in the 10th minute. So now Sacramento has to play from behind. Wright Phillips sends it up the wing. Red smoke billowing out. Could make this a bit more difficult now. Wright Phillips on his way through. Deflects. Maybe it's just harder from our position than it is for the goalkeeper, but I'm sure you've dealt with this at some point.
Well, not so much into the over 40 men's league do I see that very often, but
not recently, but maybe like back in 1993.
The flares have become much more visible here in the United States since then in the recent going. But yeah, it did seem to just grab a pocket right over the penalty spot. I don't know. We had obviously a little difficulty from our high vantage point here, but you can see it's still just kind of meandering. Look at that now. It's like an eerie mist that's going on. I feel like I'm walking through the True Blood series right there. In the fog. Of course, I'm usually in a fog.
Is that what it is?
It usually is.
Christian points ahead. It's a good move off of Blackwood. Along with a long tan, provided much of the offense last year for Arizona United. Regi, crossfield pass. It's a long run for Johnson, but he's brought it down. He turns away from Clementa. Johnson settling. Regi on the turn. And now Watson for Phoenix, who pulled ahead in the 10th minute on a goal from Chris Cortez. Tagged wide by Watson. Attack on through Johnson. Creates a bit of space. Continuing on all the way to the byline was Elliott Horde. And eventually a corner for Phoenix, who look part of the protagonist so far through 12 minutes plus.
We'll see. Obviously, a challenge will be to mark Cortez a little bit better. It was a great ball by Sean Wright Phillips last time in. He's going to have the same opportunity from the same corner as he lines this one up.
Will Cortez be the target again? Sean Wright Phillips, an in-swinger. It is Cortez. Oohs and ahs from Bandidos and La Furia Roja.
This time opting to go back post. Cortez up high. That one can't get it down as Rodriguez kind of in his way, not allowing him to get and head it down. Sacramento able to come back from 2 1-goal deficits just this past week against Swope Park Wednesday night. But they were at home, so we'll see how that challenge will play on them tonight.
They trailed in the 4th minute of that game, and then Nishaw scored before halftime. They trailed again, and Blackwood scored in the 88th minute to eke out the 2-2 draw against a very good Swope Park team that's still 3rd in the Western Conference.
Late heroics, and you always don't like to concede, but when you concede that early, you have to wonder, is there something just going on? You need to get some sort of a change into that little pregame there. You don't like doing that a couple games in a row.
Karam's down for Johnson. Square ball for Regi. He's got a bit of space. The pocket quickly collapses. Had to go wide with Casa, the overlapping run. And Chris Christian takes over. 28-year-old from New Jersey. Trialed in Portugal early in the season. Came back to Sacramento, where he's proven so valuable defensively for the Republic. Partain couldn't break through. And now lifted for the on-rushing Blackwood.
Good run, good ball.
Blackwood lined it off of the defender Ramage. Attack still on through Horde. Slipped through, won by Stewart. Uses the splits to get it away. Pushed ahead, Clementa. And Stewart this time a bit more convincing.
A good run of play there by Sacramento, but Final third, a little more technical. They able to get into that area, but just not able to connect on that pass to the 18.
Rodriguez all the way back to Evan Newton, who was with Arizona United in 2014, moved on to Oklahoma City Energy, and last 2 years in Sacramento, splitting time with Dom Jacobek. Service towards Stewart. Johnson a tap and Vasquez the clearance. Christian hearing out at options. Kevon Lambert stepped in. He was fouled by Christian. Lambert coming in from Jamaica. Played in Phoenix in the Gold Cup quarterfinals at University of Phoenix Stadium.
A little clip late. Getting that ball, he really only got the heel of the player. Will warrant that. Change of possession for Phoenix.
All right, Phillips, the player who was hit there. Back to Johnson. 5 goals on the year. Looking for the deflection. And it does go to Phoenix.
Neither team really lobbying for that one. Kind of made it a curious decision for the ref. They both pointed, but neither team really. Sometimes it's the player that yells louder when the referee's not for sure. Maybe that last word by the Rising gave him the throw.
You got to be emphatic, like Clint Eastwood when he won the award for Best Actor in 1993.
He was emphatic then, absolutely.
Service from Vasquez. It's Cortez. That's excellent from Newton to parry that down.
Cortez had to lunge on that one just a bit. Didn't able to get a ton on it, but was able to direct it on net, and Newton was in the right place.
'18th minute, 1-0 to Phoenix. Chris Cortez, the goal scorer.
Pressure, and seeing Phoenix kind of drop off just a little bit. I don't know if it's more of a coincidence of the last 4 or 5 minutes, but Sacramento been able to press the ball a little bit more into Phoenix's half before the pressure starts to come.
Christian lobbing for Blackwood. Now Wazinski. I think the average fan of the USL and of soccer in general is well aware that Sacramento was Cincinnati before Cincinnati had a team. 11,500 every single night, guaranteed sellout. 32 straight games where they put every single ticket in somebody's hands. Papa Murphy's Park, one of the great venues in the USL. They've got great big ambitions for their future, as do Phoenix.
Sure.
But it's a good crowd tonight, but nothing that would scare off Sacramento, that are used to this kind of crowd, if not a bit more.
Yeah, 2 of those 12 finals. Looking to increase soccer exposure in the United States.
Is that what we're calling it? Yeah.
I would think so. I think it's a safe way of saying it.
Sure. Christian to throw. Sacramento's already got their site planned out. Just a fantastic market, and they've got a tremendous team there. It's a square ball that's turned over. Continuing on. Watson looking for a target, instead slips back out to Christian.
These tackles, you always wonder, does that ball go into the hand of the sliding defender or not? No lobby or question from Phoenix in that case. That's Cazares. Made that last lunging tackle.
Bounces to Regi. Kept away. Christian One touch back into an attacking motion for Sacramento through the legs of Wright Phillips. That'll be on the highlight reel next week. Nishaw widens it out. Kiffey. Kiffey finds Nishaw. It's a slashing service. Bounds out. Now Johnson will try and get out on the counter.
No help. Will slow it down.
Lambert finds Regi. Cortez. Johnson has to widen out to maintain the possession. Does. Works on Clementa. Does it again. Reversing back, Vasquez. Regi bypasses Lambert all the way to Ramage. Stewart. Blackwood providing the pressure. It doesn't quite reach home. Watson reverses. It's Lambert who signed on August 10th from Montego Bay United. Regi found Johnson.
Deft touch by Regi.
He does a lot of that. Player can go one-on-one. They were waiting for a guy like him to return as Stewart leaks it up the line. A knee injury knocking the wind out of this Phoenix attack for a time. Nishaw continues on. He's got Ramage next to him. Nishaw toward the byline, sends it behind the runner, Blackwood. Attack still on, though, for Sacramento. Got the service in, Blackwood. Instead, Wakasa heads it out. Wright Phillips struck the ball too hard for Jason Johnson.
Sacramento is still looking to test Wazinski here as the first half of the first half comes to a conclusion.
The first quarter.
The first quarter of the game, but it's the first half of the first half, yeah. One half of one half. Just because you can solve the fraction doesn't mean I don't know what it is.
Contact there from Rodriguez from behind. Cortez slow on the uptake.
Elbow to the back of the head. A little inadvertent, but certainly in this day and age, anytime a player goes down from anything up in the neck and head, we'll get the stoppage in play.
John Wright Phillips has already picked Cortez out once. Wright Phillips pointing around. Sean Wright Phillips slicing the ball over the top. It was Christian, then Nishaw. You know, interesting with David Villa being called up to the Spanish national team after being gone for a while, but there's some people looking at Bradley Wright Phillips for New York Red Bulls. Even you look at Italy and Sebastian Giovinco. Is there a place for them if the top scorer in MLS and David Villa can be called up to Spain? Obviously, it's different, yet a topic of conversation casually in soccer circles at the moment.
I think, you know, big on Giovinco. We did see that with Keane, with the Galaxy getting his chance, but because Spain's such a powerhouse and David Villa had the success, it's kind of a little bit more news. You look at the Wright Phillips, you look at Giovinco, I still think needs to get some sort of an opportunity with it, but the Italian national team always seems to be so protective of their professional league when it comes to their international players. It makes it a little bit different situation.
Only 2 players on their last roster, Italy hailing from outside Serie A. That's right, Phillips taking it away, feeding Rigi. Cortez runs down the middle. Rigi got by, and it's a great touch by Hall to dispossess him. And then plays it forward. A heavy touch that's kept in play only for a moment. Of course, David Villa is the all-time leading scorer for Spain and capped 98 times. So let's not be too heavy-handed and say all things are equal when they're not. But it is a thought.
But you do look at, since David Villa has left, who has taken over that role as a top goal scorer. You know, Diego Costa, who they thought many have, but hasn't really developed into it for the national team. Certainly is able to do it in the Premier League for a little while, but his opportunities with Spain haven't really gone there, and they've kind of done more of a collective effort as opposed to that individual up top.
Well, for the USL, you look, and there's Canadian internationals, Jamaican internationals.
Absolutely making their mark. It's great.
Emre Clemente got called up to the senior national team. Montenegro in the past.
We can get some news if Didier Drogba or Joe Cole maybe got called up to Ivory Coast or to England.
Yeah.
Both of them with significant national team experience.
A little bit. Again, we're speaking in relative terms, right?
Yeah, absolutely, but it does show some of that. We see the promo for the USL every week, and we talk about some of those stars that have made their mark, and it is good to see them in the league that help develop a lot of these younger players as well, at least give them an experience of what being a top international player is like.
Watson has no quit in him, but Johnson does. Unfortunate, as Casares was working his way upfield in pressure.
Still almost a little embarrassed by my first half of the first half comment. I feel like Austin Powers from Allow Myself to Introduce Myself. Of course, Mike Myers was on Saturday Night Live back in '93 as opposed to the Austin Powers series.
Lambert off of Wright Phillips.
I don't have that chest hair either, though. Boy, that one's clumsy there and going on. The whistle, you get a player step time. Not to say that it was necessarily a foul, but they will call a Rigi just because it's a little dangerous into his end. See Rigi with a couple moves in there, lunging his body back into it will result in the foul. I believe he thought he had a little bit more prior to that.
'29th minute, Phoenix ahead on a Chris Cortez goal. It's a strong turn. Play widened out. Blackwood arriving in the box. Ushering this all the way to the byline. That'll stay in play. And Vasquez launches it back toward midfield. Service winding in. Ramage slid that away. Still trouble for Wakasa. Got by Kiffy and by Christian. Header from Cortez. Drop back by Hall.
Always a scary moment when your defender's sliding back to the goal and that ball kind of flickers up to who knows where.
Clemente found Kiffy off of Wakasa. Taken away by Johnson. Johnson runs over Clemente. Clemente continues in pursuit. Johnson, it took a deflection off Rodriguez. Rather off of Hall with Rodriguez in defense. Watson collecting for Phoenix. Lob over the top. It's back-heeled by Cortez, who maybe didn't know he had as much room as he did.
Yeah, as he was running away from it, boy, if he had just brought it down, he had room to turn. Just the possession here. Sacramento has really kind of settled down a little bit. Phoenix, who kind of took the first 10 minutes, really kind of created the opportunities. Now they seem content, and Sacramento starting to control the pace of play, even though Phoenix has probably been the more dangerous of the teams on their opportunities they have had.
Kiffy surrounded by red jerseys, and Regi is the one eventually guilty of the foul.
He's get these set pieces and creates opportunities, and that's one that Sacramento's going to have and send the big bodies up to the area. You can see the shirt tug, the splitting the three players did Kiffy, and able to earn that foul or a free kick here. His reward is he'll get to take this in swinging kick. Well, if he chose to go that way.
Kind of. Christian.
I would say that didn't in swing. That one does.
Christian, that's well done. Acrobatic from Stewart. Hall, Clementa. Clementa! Oh, he swung that wide of Wazinski. It was an ambitious effort.
Yeah, good 30 yards out, I believe, when he let it rip. And not at a really good angle either. Just missing the far post. Believe that Wazinski may have had that cover, should have been on target, but who knows where a rebound may have gone if it was on target.
Fans, our thoughts and prayers out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey in South Texas. The USL encouraging fans to donate to the Red Cross at 1-800-RED-CROSS or to text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation. San Antonio postponing their game this week. RGV was away, but obviously our thoughts on the much larger situation and devastation that Category 4 hurricane has rained down on South Texas. So thoughts with them. Obviously the Red Cross doing all they can to help in the immediate aftermath and recovery.
Hall looking for help, doesn't see it, slows it down a bit.
Hall came on loan from the Rowdies. Is stuck around in Sacramento for a second year. Cut out by Ramage. Chipped further by Watson. Rodriguez will go up the right-hand side. Knotted backward. Service skied across the box. Regi wins the header. Wright Phillips overrun by Kiffy. Clementa on the ground into space. That'll stay in play. Blackwood and Wakasa in after it. Watson away from the pressure. Regi arriving on the back heel pass. Right back to Clementa. Cortez had to do something special there. Set up the counter. It's Horde. Hall as a runner up the left. Kiffy. Kiffy earns a corner for Sacramento in the 35th minute.
Well, this will allow them to get the big bodies up front as well here as Kiffy's going to go in. Sacramento looking to create this. They do go with the option here of sending an outswinger into it. The outswingers generally, if you can get on a direct header, will allow you a little bit more power going on target, but it's so much harder to connect, and generally you're going to find yourself about 10 to 12 yards out if you do.
Kiffy swings out. No danger imminent. Driven ball over Kiffy. Throw to Phoenix. The Phoenix team, they were under Patrice Carteron trying to be a little less nervous, especially on the road, but keeping the ball. Felt like they were turning it over too much, and it seems like some of those nerves have elapsed a little bit at home. They do seem like they're in a little more of a control offensively, although this off of Watson.
Yeah, that is the opportunity, and sometimes it does allow you to settle down, and the early goal is going to do nothing but that. But Sacramento is a very experienced team, a team that's going to create some opportunities. Right now, Phoenix is setting back a little bit more and giving possession of play to Sacramento.
Chested down, contact with Vasquez. All the way out to Clementa. Clementa reached his 100th appearance with the team this year. Kiffy and Wakasa in after it. It's Wakasa now, the rookie. On the ground for Wright Phillips. Watson, a sliding challenge. Watson goes down. Yellow card's coming to Hayden Partain, who's playing in just his 5th game.
Another look at this here is the tackle. You know, I kind of seemed to be a swinging kick, and it's, to me, Mike, and just from playing the game, and you know the straight leg, and I certainly agree with maybe even more direct red cards in this sense because there is no real room for it. But that didn't seem to be going at the players, seemed to be swinging at it. Sometimes you just wonder, does the referee feel a card needs to come out to maybe try and slow it down a little bit? But that didn't seem to have any intent, and Partain's having his word with the official right now, the referee, trying to plead his case, going, hey, that's swinging into it. It wasn't really going at the player.
Partain already has his first goal. It came against Reno, but his first professional yellow card.
And in that case, that should be a card then in this case. That's the same thing we just saw. And I don't think it's a yellow card. I do think it's a foul. But for the same reason that Partain just got one, and there it is. So,
if Timothy Ford's going to go one way, he should go the other.
Agreed. I don't think either one was. I don't think either player was vicious into it, but at least the consistency, and as an official or as a fan of the game right there, it's the same thing. You like to see the consistency into this game. And as a player, you like to see that too.
I'm sure as a player, you'd rather see neither than both.
Yes. I mean, yes, because it doesn't allow, but what it typically will do is maybe the next player will think about not going in. And I know that's what the goal of the cards coming out is to do, is to try to reduce the physical play that really kind of soccer resorted to for a while.
Stepping through Blackwood. Service coming from the right. Swings away from everybody. Regi may get this again off of Christian. Amazing how far Christian freelances forward defensively.
Particularly playing only 3 really in the back right now, that we see the 4th body drop back.
Devon Lambert dispossessed.
Heard the whistle behind the play there.
Rodriguez dealt with injuries all through his 2 years with Sacramento. Broken ankle against San Jose in February during preseason friendlies. Just now making his return. This is second start, but when you speak with the staff in Sacramento, they were really pleased by what he did in that first appearance of the season. Stolen. Watson, bit of a fortuitous bounce. Cortez lifting across. Regi seemed to be trying to clip that back at Wright Phillips. Paul Buckle gesturing out. Kiffy. Casares, and now the turn. Played through Nishaw. That's right into Wazinski.
Well, the first time you'd like to find a little bit of a corner, but Nishaw not able to do so, but did go and force Wazinski to make it. You want to be able to see if that Goalkeeper might spill something. Not a lot on that shot, though.
Rodriguez. Forward up the line. Nishaw all the way with Stewart.
Well defended there by Stewart.
A couple of Englishmen all the way to the byline.
Maybe heard an accent or two there as they ran down the field.
Maybe something more than that, who knows?
Perhaps.
Fly on the wall in that conversation.
Wonder if either one of them were a mate.
Maybe at the end, not during.
A sarcastic mate, perhaps.
That could be it. Chris Christian reverses. Evan Newton on the ball.
Yeah, I had some English friends who might be mad at me for saying that, but then they'll call me mate at the end, and I'll go, yeah, you proved my point.
Those rosters littered with players of English descent. If you continue that, probably will offer some level of English descent. Rodriguez.
If you haven't tried it, try it. Make an Englishman mad sometime. It's fun.
Here's Johnson. Tries the slip ball for Cortez. Clementa and Cortez both sliding in, and it's Johnson who tries to turn the corner. In on Rodriguez. Johnson at the byline sends the service, falls down toward Wright Phillips, who tries to slide it back to Cortez. Comes free to Christian. And a line drive into the attacking half, and Nishaw was offside.
Must have made the run back into that sense. We saw the late call on that one, but appeared to be a good effort by Johnson to get his way down. The chested down by Christian, and perhaps could have been stopped there as Wright Phillips got that cleat up a little bit high, but no harm done as Sacramento able to clear that one out.
It's 43rd minute now. Coming up at halftime, we'll profile midfielder Nolan Worth. And we'll give you the highlights from this opening 45 minutes. Chris Cortez, the biggest highlight of them all, a 10th minute goal from Sean Wright Phillips off a corner kick. As Patrice Cartaron's Phoenix Rising looking for what would be a massive win. It's the Sacramento side playing some of its best ball of late, but the last two games picking up a loss and a draw. Lambert, Vasquez, Cortez. Lambert again.
Look at that space.
Wright Phillips attacking that space and shooting across the face right to Newton.
It's got an opportunity there and able to get that shot. Did go through the legs of Rodriguez, but it wasn't far enough wide to test Newton. You can't give the players that kind of space 30 yards out and go at goal without perhaps having a shot that may come back to bite you.
Comes down to Lambert. And out of play. Kiffey was there. Wakasa, rookie born in 1993 out of Hillsborough, California.
1993 is when Floyd Mayweather won his first Golden Gloves, and he's got a big fight tonight.
That's right. Conor McGregor, he wasn't fighting in 93.
No, I don't think he was.
Lofted ball Nishaw.
I wasn't fighting in 93 either, though.
One minute of stoppage time. We're halfway there.
Phoenix would really like to keep him out of the net here.
And that skips wide.
Don't want to give something up in that final minute, and with that goal kick, they'll more than likely be okay, especially with a couple of players down here. I think that may be the last opportunity for the other team here.
And it is halftime. So Blackwood still down, and who played Arizona last year. He's back to his feet. Chris Cortez, the goal scorer. And it's 1-0 to Phoenix at halftime. It's a good result for Phoenix at home, one they really did need.
Yeah, they came out smoking, had that opportunity, and you kind of wondering, are they going to be able to put on net? But an early goal really kind of puts the pressure. They're sitting back a little bit more than I think that they may want to do, and we'll see whether they can try and increase that lead here into the second half.
Now down to midfield, we've got Jose Bosch standing by.
Thank you, guys. We're here with head coach Patrice Carteron. And coach, this is the 4th match in a row now you guys have taken a lead. What needs to happen in the second half to make sure you get the 3 points instead of settling for 1?
At first we had a good start. The 15 first minutes were quite good. We had many opportunities to score. We did it. After this we lost the possession, but the player had a fantastic attitude defensively. Everybody was working hard for the team. It was difficult, but still 1-0 for us, and I did prefer the 10 last minutes where we were much better. So we must be strong defensively against this very good team of Sacramento, but sometimes to keep sometimes we have to counter-attack, and sometimes to keep more the ball. I think also we need to change more often of side for Jason to have more 1-against-1 on the left side.
And second goal in as many games for Chris Cortez. You feel he has another one coming on in the second half?
I hope so. He's working hard for the team. As I said, he was not that lucky the few last game, so he deserves really this goal. I'm really happy for him.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Back to you guys.
Jose Bosch from the field with Patrice Carteron. Halftime as Phoenix has a 1-0 lead at halftime over Sacramento. Sean Wright Phillips finding Chris Cortez. 1-0 at halftime. Patrice Carteron, it was like a fine wine. Back in a moment.
Okay, 1 large popcorn, couple of drinks. That's $15.75.
I got this.
What are you doing? Oh, mind tricks. That's cute, buddy. But you still have to pay.
With Arizona Federal Credit Union, I can pay with my Apple Watch. I don't need cash or card.
Stop.
Arizona Federal provides mobile solutions when you need them most.
You will upgrade your popcorn for $1 more.
I will upgrade my popcorn for $1 more.
Really?
No.
Arizona Federal. Now that's the power of us.
The Heineken family passed down a special gift. An original recipe with only 3 ingredients and all of them natural. I also have a special gift. The ability to cry on demand. It's beautiful. Only 3 natural ingredients. There's more behind a star.
El mundo está atento a Phoenix Rising Football Club, porque las leyendas internacionales Didier Drogba y Sean Wright Phillips juegan juntos para Phoenix y le dan a esta ciudad el fútbol de alta calidad que los fans esperan ver. Obtén tus boletos ahora antes que se agoten. Sábado 2 de septiembre contra Seattle Sounders Football Club 2. Phoenix Rising Football Club. Nuestra ciudad se levanta y el mundo está atento.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records. With elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
With the summer upon us, it's the season of superhero movies, and every superhero has a great origin story. This week we profile midfielder Nolan Worth as he talks about his soccer origins and the moments he remembers most at halftime as Phoenix up 1-0 against Sacramento.
My name is Nolan Worth, and I'm from Comox, British Columbia, Canada. My earliest youth soccer memory would probably be going to my dad's soccer games and hanging out afterwards with the guys, and I would strap on the size 12 mitts and swim around in those. My dad saying, "Oh, don't put those on, Nolan, you're gonna be a defender like me." And who knew later I'm a goalkeeper. My favorite youth soccer memory was probably when I received an email stating that I had made the Vancouver Whitecaps residency program for the U16 program, and who knew that would lead me to the surface of the sun here in Arizona. My name is Nolan Worth, and I play for Phoenix Rising FC.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority. Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
SAFC forward AJ Ajekwa, who was born in the U.S., went to boarding school in Cameroon for a year at the age of 13. The life lessons he learned there helped him overcome once being cut from his high school team to turning soccer into a career.
When I came back to the States is when a couple of my friends told me, "Oh, try out for the high school team." Went out to the high school tryout and probably lasted about 30 seconds. And the head coach goes, "All right," he lines the whole team up and he goes, "AJ to the middle." He kicks the ball up and I probably missed it like 3 or 4 times. And then he goes, "Get out." I didn't make the high school soccer team until my junior year. Being the competitive person I was, just playing basketball and stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this team. So I just kept pushing and working. I mean, like my work ethic is just everything to me. My mom always said, like, hard work, hard work, hard work. You know, if you want to make it in life, if you want to make it in the society, you have to work.
And with that hard work, AJ went on to play collegiately at Chico State, where he realized he wanted to further his soccer career.
So I told my mom, I was like, "Yo, Mom, I'm gonna finish school, but I want to go to Europe." She goes, "If you buy your ticket, you can go." And next thing you know it, I bought a one-way ticket to England, and I was gone. When I was in England, I mean, I tried so many teams. I contacted probably like 4 or 5 teams in like different leagues, trying to get an opportunity. And then Biggleswade United gave me an opportunity to play for their U23 team, which I'm really grateful for. They gave me a call to their first team, and on my debut game, it was an FA Cup match, and I scored 2 goals, and it was just like, my head just went from there, and I was like, yes, this is the relief I need.
After a successful season with Biggleswade United, Ajekwa returned home to the States, where he went on trial with LA2 and soon after signed with Orange County. Now, AJ finds himself here in San Antonio.
going through what I went through just helped me become the person I am today. I'm still growing today, so I still make mistakes, but I'm not the type of person to make the same mistake twice. I'm a better person, I feel like, just being open-minded to a lot of things and being optimistic. Like life as it comes, you grow through what you go through.
Halftime from Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. A 1-0 lead for Sacramento Republic FC. A bit behind here is Chris Cortez jumping out in front. As we welcome you back to the show, Mike Watts, Mike Pepper with you. Here are the halftime highlights. Phoenix pulling in front early in this affair, but we saw Johnson find his way through a couple of times. And Johnson here turning around, finding right Phillips, and then Regi.
Yeah, it started early. Regi, who's born in 1993, should have put that on target. Instead, he sends it over the crossbar.
Regi firing it over the bar. And then, 10th minute, there's Cortez rising up, snapping it in.
Great finish, and that was a great ball. Fitting in, clears the front man, and on the near post run, does exactly what he's supposed to do, gives him the 1-0 lead.
And then Sacramento began to find more of the ball. Emerick Clementa stepping forward, sends this wide.
A little ambitious, but certainly close to it. And if a save has to be made, they have someone to pounce on the rebound if they need it.
We continue on. Blackwood, Neshaw would try this effort. Wozinski up to the task.
Yeah, just not enough on it. He didn't curl it into the far post. Instead, it rolls really kind of harmlessly into Wozinski.
Chris Cortez, the goal scorer to this point. A well-deserved drink of water for him as Phoenix a 1-0 lead at halftime. Walking off the field with his 3rd goal of the season and his 2nd in his many games. Also of note, 23rd straight start for Sacramento for James Kiffey, who crossed 1,993 minutes tonight. Here are your halftime stats.
Wow, that's a lot of minutes there. And you can see through here the shots. It really wasn't, it was mostly between the 18s, but the better opportunities for Phoenix. The possession, we pointed it out. I said at this point, we see Phoenix starting to sit back, Sacramento controlling it. We'll see. Right now they're trailing 1-0, but can that possession maybe wear Phoenix out a little bit and maybe create an opportunity as the defensive players are having to shift across?
Sacramento has had trouble getting into the last 19 yards, but the first 93, they've had a lot of possession as it is halftime here.
I would say this field's a little longer than 112 yards.
Yeah, maybe. 1-0 Phoenix at halftime. Back in a moment.
I'm all about the fish, all about the rice. I think I'm inspired mostly by the discipline behind sushi, the hand-eye coordination, the knife skills. The knife makes a difference based on the steel and the person who made it, and more importantly, the person who uses it and takes care of it. I think there's a certain amount of elegance and simplicity, and I think sushi is, in its core, simple.
At Pruitt's, savings and style live comfortably together. And right now, the selection has never been better. Just look at this 3-piece Sonoma Chaise sectional, only $599. And this urban casual 4-piece bedroom, just $499. Visit Pruitt's for the lowest prices and best selection. Alma School and Ray or Thomas Road and 34th Street. Pruitt's, proudly serving the Valley for 65 years.
The world is watching Phoenix Rising FC because international soccer legends Didier Drogba and Sean Wright Phillips are playing together for Phoenix, giving this city the high-quality soccer fans have been waiting for. So, get your tickets now before they sell out Saturday, September 2nd against Seattle Sounders FC 2. Phoenix Rising FC, our city is rising and the world is watching.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records. With elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Halftime between Phoenix and Sacramento. It's a great crowd on hand. The Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, a 1-0 lead for the home side over Sacramento. Mike Watts, Mike Pepper back with you. And we take a look at the upcoming schedule. Around next week's USL games out in the West, Swope Park and Oklahoma City. Certainly an important game for Swope Park to try and continue to keep pace, both with Sacramento behind them, but also San Antonio in front of them. San Antonio Real Monarchs are going to draw a lot of attention as well in the West.
Yeah, top two teams out there in the West, and Real's continued to go at a high pace. San Antonio, a few more draws than that, kind of coming back to a couple of those teams, including Sacramento, who's getting closer, but still, you see those opponents who are going to be facing each other, and in that Western Conference, aside from those two teams, which will get a lot of attention, there's a lot of opportunity for these teams.
And Louisville, Charleston, certainly important out in the East, as a Charleston back all the way to 1993. Always a playoff team, but this year they've struggled a bit in the last 8, just one win, and they lost here this afternoon. Meanwhile, ESPN3 continues to have a thrilling upcoming schedule. Phoenix Rising will take on Orange County from this same location Wednesday, September 6th. And Orange County really needs to figure a way to pick up things, but every time they seem to play, they get a good result.
Yeah, and obviously into that loss last night, but Phoenix does have a game in between that, where they're sleepless in Seattle, one of the 1993's biggest hits, because Seattle faces this Rising team in just a week from now.
That's right, and of course Seattle is maybe best known for the show Frasier, which debuted in '93. Meanwhile, power rankings from USLsoccer.com has Real Monarchs still in a very fine position, and why not? Louisville City is in second, and Reno 1868 sits in third.
Yeah, Reno's been running hot. I think the Louisville City, the Eastern Conference really took a blow tonight with Louisville, Charlotte, and Charleston all losing tonight. Your top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. So aside from that, yeah, Reno on the run that they've been, and that's why when we see San Antonio dropping down just a little bit, even though statistically they're still up there, some pretty impressive teams, and you just kind of have to wonder if the Eastern Conference is a little bit of an anomaly today.
And for Reno, maybe it's this year that proves to be the difference. Maybe it's next year. The expansion team has been good. Maybe it's the 150th anniversary that proves to be the difference maker for Reno, not the 125th back in 1993. Meanwhile, great performance so far for Phoenix. Chris Cortez has been on the mark, as the Rising side here has a 1-0 advantage at halftime. And we look back at Chris Cortez's goal here from Sean Wright Phillips.
Again, that first one, and we see the end swinger brings a good opportunity. And as he just clears that front man, the previous corner kick just driven along the ground, cleared out. Sometimes on those perfect corners, and Cortez made no mistake about it.
And Sean Wright Phillips, a fine assist on his own right. As fans waiting for this second half of play, Military Appreciation Night in Phoenix, Arizona. The players have returned to the field. No Didier Drogba tonight, as he's unavailable. When you look at the bench, Omar Bravo is unavailable as well. They do have Blair Gavin, Sam Hamilton, Mala, Erlo Payanessa, Dia, and Avila available to them, should Patrice Carteron go in any of those directions.
Looks like Sacramento is set to make a couple of subs after the first half.
As the huddle closely knit for Sacramento still, while Phoenix is moved out.
Hey, tuck him in. Obviously, through the first 45 minutes, we saw the possession, but really, it was really at no time did we feel the danger of Sacramento being able to put the ball into the net. And that's where I think, obviously, they feel like they need to make a change here as they start these minutes.
Trevin Caesar, also Wiesenfarth. A couple of changes here entering the second half for Sacramento. They try and turn things around. Mike Watts, Mike Pepper with you. And what's the final matchup of the evening in the USL? Caesar on for Nishaw.
Already opportunity here, Sacramento, in the first minute.
Wide of Wazinski. Matt Wiesenfarth is on as well. Just his 4th appearance.
Carlos Rodriguez.
And so maybe we'll see them back into a more traditional 4 defender look with both Kiffey and and Horde, or perhaps we'll continue to see them push forward?
Well, they're going to have to. They're trailing by the goal. You don't start to panic just yet because there is still 45 to play. But you do want to not let this get too far gone before you create your opportunities.
Sacramento playing an extraordinarily tough schedule down the stretch of their season. 8 of their final 10 against teams that are currently in the playoff picture. Crossfield pass is maintained and carried upfield. Blackwood has gotten by Lambert. Blackwood sent that well off target.
And Mike, looking here as we see that Wiesenfarth has come on, but he's actually playing a little bit higher. It's almost like they've gone with 2 defenders and maybe asking Kiffy and Horde to kind of drop in. They've moved Clementa inside from what they started on the 3 defenders on the first half. Obviously, Horde and Kiffy defenders who were being pushed up a little bit into that 3-4-3 that they, or 3-5-2 that they were looking at. But into this case, bringing on, the player Wiesenfarth has allowed them to maybe bring those back, but really only playing 2 solid in the back.
Johnson, slip ball, perfect. Cortez, Johnson! Patrice Carteron looks like a genius. He wanted Johnson on the ball more. It's immediate, 2-0.
That was phenomenal. Great ball work, and Johnson made no mistake on that ball across and able to go to the near post, and that's desperately what Phoenix needed at home, outside the playoff race right now to grab a 2-0 lead on Sacramento.
Maybe even more impressive, that ball to Cortez initially on the give and go.
Yeah, and Cortez fed him in perfectly. A goal and assist, but that was a beautiful finish there by Johnson.
Goal number 6 on the year for Jason Johnson. At times, Sacramento has struggled with pace among forwards. Jason Johnson has that in buckets. And it's 2-0. Cortez in the 10th, Johnson in the 48th. More happy news for Jason Johnson.
Yeah, happy news, Jamaica. Love it.
And Johnson forcing his way into this act. And then grabbing Clementa.
We'll see. Sacramento made those offensive subs there at the half, and it really kind of already came back, but at least they're set. They were chasing the goal, now they're chasing 2.
Last year, Sacramento finished as the regular season Western Conference champion. Fell in the opening round to Orange County. So surely their focus turns more toward making sure they have a good playoff run. As this brought down in the area. Casares! It's knocked down and it's hit in by Caesar. A response 2 minutes later from Sacramento. And Trevin Caesar has scored his 7th of the year.
Well, that was a quick answer, and we complimented Phoenix for their change in play a little bit, but certainly look at that with the Sacramento. That was a phenomenal strike, and Caesar right place, right time.
Is there more that this goalkeeping should have done for Wazinski?
Yeah, you can't leave it in front. I mean, that's it. I mean, you go down and you make the save, but if you're not going to hang on to it, that's got to go parried wide of the post. You can't leave it in front of the net.
So Trevin Caesar, the goal scorer, number 7.
As a striker, those are just the dreams you have. You sit there, you know that night, 2 yards out, no one in front of you. You're going to finish most of those. And it's just like it's served up on a platter.
Caesar scored 10 for Orange County last year, scored 9 the year before that, and he's sitting on 7. A fair number of games to go this year as Lambert sends it up the line. Regi, Johnson, Cortez. Cortez! Oh, this game has opened up in a hurry. And it did take a deflection. Evan Newton doesn't seem to agree with that. Corner to Phoenix.
I didn't see it either, but you know, when you're running away from it, sometimes you might just get that defender to go off a leg hair or something that goes out for a corner. That would be a loud leg hair, though, because 9 times out of 10, the referee's making that call based on a secondary sound, or he sees the ball change the spin.
Wright Phillips outswinger. Wakasa the target. It's knocked down by Newton. Back across by Cortez. And it's in. Ramage. 2 goals for Phoenix and 1 for Sacramento in all of 4 minutes. And Phoenix up 3-1.
Wow. Well, Newton came out, able to get a hand on that first ball. I know we'll get another look at it here. I was on the corner actually after that. But you got to get it further. If you're going to come 8 yards off your line, you can't just knock it down. All of a sudden sent back in, and Ramage on that second ball, able to get it in. Pretty impressive answer.
That's right. You can read the coach's lips. He says Rambo as he walks toward the camera. Ramage, the goal scorer. It's his 2nd of the season. And the pendulum swings back to Phoenix as fast as Sacramento had gotten one back.
I think that was Cortez that sent it back in again. And in a case, a goal and 2 assists right now.
Team of the week.
Right now, yeah. Maybe player of the week if it continues. Got a lot of time.
He scored against Orange County.
There you go.
Now you're talking about a ball all the way back to Wazinski here. 2 goals and 2 assists in 2 games.
Certainly will get many votes. Haven't seen exactly what all the other players have done around the league, but
Johnson wasn't able to get by. He tried to swim through Horde.
Who knows? He has about 38 minutes. Maybe add on to that total.
Partain tossed down by Lambert. Horde. Caesar checking into the corner. Horde. Now Sacramento's turn. Caesar. Hall. Christian. Partain. Hall now. Christian off of Stewart. Clementa sprays into the corner. Out for a Phoenix throw. Cortez, a goal, a couple assists tonight. Not a bad night at the office.
No, not at all. And great delivery on both of those assists here in the second half as well. And he got another foul called against him.
Our poor producer, Sharni Yerke, is now adding that to his lengthy statistical list tonight. Wright Phillips breaking through. Left it short for Johnson. Popped up by Vasquez. It's Lambert. Pushed by Caesar, able to get the pass off. Regi. Johnson, crossfield pass. My goodness, is there space? Watson. Well covered by Chris Christian. It's a corner to Phoenix.
I just threw the measuring tape out there. It was 1,993 inches across the field in that ball. Otherwise known as 1993.
How many feet is that?
That's a lot of feet. I'll say that's 170 feet. Somewhat, 173. 170 feet, 3 inches. Quite, not quite. My math is off. Can tell you at 56:47, Phoenix will have 1,993 seconds to hold off for the victory tonight.
Wright Phillips. Steered aside by Christian.
Notice there that time Evan Newton decided to stay on the line. Just last time he came out and punched it. That one was a little further out. But 2 corner kicks tonight, and that's both have resulted in a couple of goals. And if you're Sacramento, you're not liking giving up those pieces. Another chance here for Phoenix as well. Patrice Carteron's got to be ecstatic about the ability to finish on these set pieces tonight on the corners.
So Wright Phillips will try from the other side. 57th minute, Phoenix ahead 3-1. Wright Phillips, back post, Christian the header. And here comes Partain. Regi and Blackwood going at it. Slid over the far touchline.
We've seen Phoenix just play back, and that might be the case here more. With the 2-goal lead, do they allow Sacramento a little bit more possession?
Well, you want to make sure you don't run into a situation, a Groundhog's Day situation. Fantastic film in its own right.
Absolutely. I think I know when that was out with Bill Murray.
That's right. Caesar whips that back into play, and Lambert tried to steer it away from Blackwood. It wouldn't matter. Gotten out over the byline.
That was some great seats there.
Yeah. At every Phoenix Rising home match during the 2017 season, 2 lucky fans are upgraded to sit in the best seats of the house, courtesy of the folks at Pruitt's Fine Furniture. Cortez. Back now to Vasquez. And out for Cortez. And those lucky winners, they don't only get to enjoy tonight's action there in the most comfortable seats directly on the pitch, but the luxury reclining chairs, they go home next week to them, delivered as a gift from Phoenix Rising and the folks at Pruitt's Fine Furniture. You can see them there on the far touchline. They're lounging at the present moment.
Just one of 1,993 great reasons to go to a Phoenix Rising game.
Well, list those out?
After the game, yes.
Get out the parchment.
Still allowing Sacramento to get those opportunities.
Wiesenfarth. A lot of contact there from Stewart. It has Caesar appealing. It's a corner.
You get the conversation. I don't know. There's no delay in sending that one back out towards the corner flag. But now they're going to have a conversation with him. And I know there was pushing and pulling and tugging going on, but you kind of wonder if he's going to have a conversation with him, why wasn't there something more than just a corner kick here?
Kiffey standing with Blackwood. At the hour mark. Blackwood, top of the area. Casares lifts the ball across. Was looking for Christian. Bit too heavy.
Feel sorry for those who were at the concession stand coming out of halftime. It was a dynamic first 6 minutes where we saw those 3 goals. It has settled down just a little bit. But I think both teams are kind of gearing up for this last half hour, Mike, because it's all desperation at this point. Phoenix going to try and hang on, try and get those 3 critical points to push themselves closer to the playoff position, where Sacramento looking to maybe try and just snake something here on the road.
Attack on for Sacramento. Widening out. Blackwood trying to go central. Right, Phillips. It's a throw. Republic FC. Clementa to get the service in off of Lambert. Cortez has his running mate, Johnson. Johnson sends it back across. Cortez looking for another. He leaves it off. It's Regi. What a save by Newton, who dove out. Give every full measure of devotion to that save.
Boy, that's what you're supposed to do. Make yourself big. He put his chest out there. I don't know if it went off the chest or the face, but didn't go in the net. That's all that matters to him.
Cortez nearly had a trio of assists. Right, Phillips tried to spring Johnson.
Good vision by Cortez. That was off the chest. But Newton make himself big. Regi again has to do better. I mean, at least that one's on target, and you force the keeper to make the save. But you have the time. You've got to try to make the keeper go one direction or the other. I know I'm asking for a little bit much. For at least he went from off target to on target, but got to force him to make the save. You let him make the save there.
Wiesenfarth as Vasquez down, having to try and jump over him. Vasquez still shook up.
So many times you see the referee stop play, and you might see it now as Phoenix will play it out, but it's not a head injury. The head injury is immediate whistle, and that's what you do. But it was pretty apparent from this that Wiesenfarth went down onto the tailbone of some sort, and that's where his discomfort is.
Vasquez went down fairly immediately. Trevin Caesar over to check on him. He's not the only one. Wiesenfarth has come back. Incidental, it was just an aerial challenge. Nothing out of the ordinary. Emra Clementa set to come out as Harry Williams is standing at midfield. And that is the change here. Williams off the bench for the 12th time this season.
Actually, it was Lambert who's down my bad. Was I wrong? No, it was Vasquez.
There he is. Looking a little bit better now. Waving at the referee, Timothy Ford, to come back on. Clementa done, the captain for this Sacramento side. Harry Williams will check in.
So as they played it out, they'll throw it back and at least give the goalkeeper the ball. Start it over for Phoenix.
Wazinski on it. This game unique in that while also being available online, is available on TV in both Sacramento and Phoenix. And with that in mind, thank you for not paying $100 to watch us here this evening on a big sporting night. Return by Johnson. Poked away, and ultimately Horde concedes the throw.
Well, with most Mayweather fights, I think we saw more action in the first 6 minutes of the second half than they might see in the entire 36 if it goes all 12 rounds tonight. Not an insult, just a methodical fact. Yeah.
Right, Phillips. Regi. Right, Phillips again. Chipping. Oh, he nearly beat Newton, who seemed to get back to his spot in time. Not over the bar. Hey fans, tonight's Rhesus Dental Smile of the Game. Gets a Didier Drogba head cutout. That's Jocelyn from Labine. Just look for the staff members with the large player heads. With the cutouts at the next Phoenix Rising FC home match, Rhesus Dental, their focus providing quality and affordable dental care and braces for you and your family. Schedule an appointment, head to rhesusdental.com.
That is a fantastic smile by the young lady.
Horde.
A little too much time on the ball if you're Phoenix right now.
Horde into Wazinski. Wazinski's done well coming on since replacing Josh Cohen, who's available on the bench. Header from Cortez out of the reach of Johnson.
Two have worked well together tonight.
Caesar's touch leads him back, but maintains the possession. Partain going to Casares, and now Christian. Christian, a line drive. Skipped off of Caesar. Goal kick to Phoenix.
Veteran thing to do there for Wazinski. Walk across, make sure that ball, just get an extra 10, 15 seconds off the clock.
Jeremy Hall involved there. Wins the foul for Sacramento.
Looks like they've moved Hall a little bit more defensively from the middle of the park. That's that role as they try to push forward.
Sacramento scoring a couple minutes after Phoenix in this second half. Made it 2-1. Phoenix responding instantly with Peter Ramage. Wazinski caught that on the byline.
Able to kind of twist the body a little bit. Looked like he may have been over the line, but certainly it wasn't deemed the ball was, even off the deflection. Able to save the corner kick.
And meanwhile, possession back to Sacramento, and the risk you run right now if you're Phoenix is you don't want to continue to give them that possession in a way that they did in Orange County or the previous game, even if you still have all 11 men.
Yeah. I think in the first half we saw that possession on a dangerous ball here, Mike.
Drop back, Caesar lays it further, taken away. And the run is on from Watson. Cortez in a pocket of space, plays Johnson. The Jamaican will keep it in. Cortez.
Yeah, to finish that thought on the possession as Phoenix here on that counter opportunity. You don't mind if it's around midfield going in, but when you can start to send those penetrating balls, and there have been a couple, that ball over the top, you can see the Sacramento players running in with not necessarily a tight mark on it. You've got to be able to keep that away from being a dangerous situation just outside the area.
Just got to be a little nervous when it was 111 for a high today and 95 still at this hour in Phoenix.
But this heat doesn't make me sweat like that humidity does, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, it can be a little trickier, too. You're still hot. You got to keep yourself cool.
Vasquez throws in. Return ball from Cortez was cut off. That's well done by Watson. Vasquez.
Oh, the Meg.
Watson again. Watson! Newton throws both hands up, pops that over the top. Jason Johnson has a Reese's smile of the game right now after watching this from Watson.
Yeah, going through, you're absolutely right about that. Just going through the player. Certainly Newton didn't do a lot on it, but kept it out of the net and probably kept his teammate off the highlight reel, or low light reel in that case.
Evan Newton retreats back to his goal. Phoenix trying to add another one in the 72nd minute. It's Wright Phillips. Newton ran into Johnson.
Yeah, Newton was involved a little bit of shoving right there, had his hands in. That's probably why he didn't come down catching it, didn't see off that. And as a goalkeeper, I can be a little partial to protecting the goalie, but you hate to see that. It's something that's kind of drifting up there. The player has the right to it as long as he's trying to play the ball and not playing the goalkeeper.
Has it changed between when you were playing and when you're announcing now, how you view that?
Yeah, of course, you always want the call. Yes, I would say that, but I would say you want the call, but you're not necessarily expecting it. And I would say into this case, yeah, of course, Evan Newton's wanting it, but he shouldn't be expecting it if the player's going out. Of course, you don't always know what the offensive player's doing either, Mike, because sometimes they've got a little bit more attention on you than you think.
Led into the corner. Chipped away. Comes free, long-range effort off from Hayden Partain.
Can't believe you called me a hypocrite on the air without calling me a hypocrite.
Well, that's not it. I'm just asking how things have changed over the years.
Well, I found myself maybe being a little hypocritical, so maybe I called myself the hypocrite.
Things change over time. This isn't 1993 anymore.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. I only had one knee back then, 93 anyway at that point. Fought through it.
Former goalkeeper Mike Pepper alongside. Mike Watts with you from Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex tonight. A 3-1 lead over Sacramento Republic. Caesar's the goal scorer for Sacramento. Wright Phillips kept that in.
Well, I think they're going to say the first one went out, but I thought I agreed with you. I thought perhaps, but slimmest of margins, it's over the line.
Augie Casares, fourth year in Sacramento. It's his first pro club, 6 in white. He's in Farth, trying to continue on. Back for Partain, out of Wake Forest, playing in PDL with Des Moines most recently. Entering into the equation a couple of weeks ago. On the ground, Casares. Blackwood looking for Wiesenfarth. Comes out. Here comes Johnson. 3-on-2. Numbers for Phoenix. Cortez goes around. It's Regi. Regi continuing shooting. Johnson still a chance as it bounced free off of Hall. And headed back wisely by Christian to Newton.
Well, that opportunity, Cortez and Johnson have been deadly. Regi has really kind of struggled tonight, at least getting those opportunities. He's had a couple opportunities over the net at the goalkeeper. That one not able to get the shot off, and kind of creative on the ball a little bit, but when it gets in there, he struggled with the finishing tonight.
That final product missing a bit. Alessandro Regi, the man who came over from FC Montreal and had his season put on hold with a knee injury. Returning and scoring almost instantly.
So that's the type of possession you don't like, that space here.
Play back by Williams. Horde couldn't find the run of Williams again.
Man, that ball was a waste. Near post run, it was too far for it. Try and pick out the man, particularly when you have that much time. A lot of times when you're under pressure, you just try and put it across, maybe get a deflection. But yeah, Horde had all kinds of yards there, but not a lot of pressure around him. And you can't hit the goalkeeper when you have time and space.
Dished out wide. Return to Caesar. And Sacramento will rally ahead once more. Good crowd in Phoenix tonight. Glad you're with us. Wherever you're watching, 3-1 to Phoenix over Sacramento. Attack on Wiesenfarth. Trying to draw Republic FC back within one. Wiesenfarth on the ball again. And belongs to Sacramento. Horde has company. Off of Lambert. Over Casares. Watson commits the foul. Partain the player down. Sacramento in the last game felt like the substitutes really did them a lot of good. That was the commentary from Paul Buckle after the fact. They made some changes at halftime. The game had a ton of juice in it for about 10 minutes, but the air out of the ball a bit more of late.
And Caesar did get the goal, but the other subs, Phoenix still really controlled this here through the second 45.
Casares, Caesar, off the side of the net.
Man, oh man. Opportunity. And you can't let him walk it up. Casares in and able to pick out the ball. Caesar probably thought the defender Stewart still right on him. Had time to turn and square, but again, just missing the near post.
Wazinski drives it away. Popped ahead. Newton got there. Cortez had a chance to dink the keeper.
A little hesitation by Newton almost cost him, and certainly it was Cortez who got there first, but you're trying to beat a sprawling goalkeeper, and at least Newton made himself big and able to get that second goal.
Yeah, you'd like to think that helps.
Well, you do. You know, sometimes when you see that body coming out, but you don't. You want to keep your hands to your side.
Williams continuing on the ground. The target was Wiesenfarth. Corner for Sacramento in the 79th. Still a ton of time left for Republic FC.
Ton of time, but you do have to make it 2 goals, which just make it a little more challenging, obviously.
Service off the head of Ramage. We'll do it again.
Ramage back across and made no doubt about it. He knew he was wide of the near post, so just send it up into the stands. Always dangerous when you're running back towards your own net. Which you get a lot of when you're doing man-to-man marking on the corners. You're having to run with the player.
It's Kiffey, out swinger, and the foul goes against Sacramento inside the 18.
On the challenge, obviously getting to the ball first helped warrant the free kick here for Phoenix.
Off the head of Wiesenfarth. Away from Vasquez. Referee's got the board. Blair Gavin has arrived.
Looks like your next opportunity.
Wright Phillips trying to circumnavigate the stranglehold of this Sacramento press. Comes all the way to Ramage. And Ramage gives us the opportunity to bring Blair Gavin into the match. As in the 81st minute, 4 goals scored in this game. Phoenix getting on the board early. Chris Cortez from Sean Wright Phillips, his 2nd goal in as many games. Johnson playing Cortez. Johnson scoring Cortez a goal and an assist just a minute and a half later. Casares, big rebound, oh meow, put in by Trevin Caesar. It's 2-1, and Phoenix, a couple minutes after that, Ramage gets the ball back from Cortez, nods it in, 3-1 in favor of Phoenix at the 52nd. Meanwhile, we may have another addition. That ball knocked down by Wazinski.
Maybe offside, I think, on that save. One of the Republic players in play in front of the goalkeeper. If he doesn't make the save, does Wazinski, and it probably isn't whistled, but on that initial shot, that's what it is. It is an offside.
Johnson. That took a bad hop. Comes free to Williams. Lambert pulled it back. Wright Phillips finds Watson. Run over from behind by Partain, who's playing on a yellow card. Not enough to warrant a second, but Watson is a bit slow to get up. Watson may well be the next one out for Phoenix. Here's the foul.
Not a lot there. There's a foul, but certainly nothing cardable.
Nothing too insidious there. Chance for everybody to get a drink of water, for Watson to be attended to. Matt Watson, who played for Chicago and Vancouver in Major League Soccer, was with Richmond in the mid-2000s, played in Chicago for Frank Yallop, led the team early on. Watson and the trainer on their way off. The trainer motioning for a change, but Watson's number was already on the board.
Makes him feel better.
Does it?
No, if you're the trainer, of course. You give that. You made the call, right?
Right. Righto.
Otherwise, you're just running out and handing out water, and this way you can feel like you made an official decision.
Hamilton will come on. Phoenix making this change.
You know, right now he's on the bench there. He's picking up his cell phone. Yeah, I made this call. That's what the trainer's doing.
If you know enough athletic trainers, you know that there's such a thing as the hero shot. Racing on with the bag in tow.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they take their time so often. They'll claim it's the heavy bag, but, you know, we want a little extra camera time.
Right, it's like a Baywatch run, as it might be. Lifeguard off the towel.
I never have equated it to Baywatch. That's pretty impressive.
Right. No. 85th minute between Phoenix and Sacramento. Baywatch, that was a long time ago.
Before or after 1993?
Tough to tell. Lambert. A lot of space there. Widens out for Johnson. Tries to get by. Johnson driving to the byline. Lifts the ball toward Cortez. Newton making no mistake, yanking that down.
Well, desperate times here for Sacramento. Final 5 minutes, probably 4 minutes of stoppage time right now, but you have to get one back in the next couple minutes if they want a chance to get anything out of this game tonight.
Horde pushing it forward. That did get out. And it's a goal kick for Phoenix. When you think about Sacramento, you can't help but think they started perfect through 3 games, and then they didn't score for 6 straight. A lot of people are beginning to get concerned about the team. 5 losses and a scoreless draw. They're 7-3-4 since the start of that Open Cup run, where they kind of got the offense going against a lower division team, and you kind of think Sacramento, if they dip again here, this would be 3 winless. That they've already been through it, and maybe they can make the run into the postseason off of this disappointment if they fail to win here tonight on the road.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because you know about their home field advantage they have at Papa Murphy Stadium, and for them to be able to have that, you want to have one of those home games. But the way that we saw, obviously, Salt Lake, Real Salt Lake, you look at San Antonio, and now the way Reno's playing, you're in that little battle with Swope Park. You might not have a home game at all in the playoffs if they're indeed ticketed for the playoffs.
Right now, Sacramento looks like they're in fine standing in the West, to be fair. It's just where they end up seeding-wise. There is an element of which poison you want to pick in the West among those top 3. Does seem like in some way they've pulled away a bit. Swope, San Antonio, Real Monarchs.
And Reno, like I said, got that 3rd most votes in the best team of the league right now. So it's one of the hotter teams, and they're phenomenal at home as well.
Dia set to come on for Sean Wright Phillips. Dia was sent off 2 games ago, game which Phoenix finished down to 10 men. Will come on for about 3 minutes. Sean Wright Phillips got the scoring started, finding Chris Cortez back in the 10th.
There's a fantastic ball in, and he doesn't get the assist on the other corner kick goal because the deflection off of Evan Newton, and the ball sent back in by Cortez, but it was off a corner kick, so he's been instrumental in 2 of the 3 goals tonight.
Short corner. Blackwood plays it back. Kiffey. Surveying options. Sends in the service. Stewart cleared it for a moment. Looking for a handball. It won't come for Partain.
Well struck by Partain, but deflection in the box.
Player down for Phoenix. Sacramento still trying to move forward with 2 minutes and stoppage remaining. And to go back, no team wants to go winless for any stretch of time, but Sacramento seems as poised as any team in the Western Conference, in my opinion, to be able to make a run through the playoffs in spite of any level of mid-season dip in form.
Well, and sure, you know, we've talked about this. Phoenix started to become more into that desperation. They do have the least amount of games played amongst team in the league of any team. They got the nice little home run, the home stand that's coming, but that whole same respect, Mike, they have to do that. They have to win those games in hand, and that's shown to be a difficult task for teams that have to try to put together a 7-game run in 21 days. So this is what they need to do, take care of it at home, and they've been the hungrier team on the night, that's for sure.
It does look like Phoenix is well on their way to 3 points this evening. It puts them back into the playoff picture, which is the expectation for this group as Ramage turns away. Team that made a lot of changes in the offseason. Didier Drogba out for the last handful of games as well. Tied as the leading scorer for this group until Johnson broke with his 6th goal of the year. Back by Partain, and Christian has it. And I do wonder if I saw Rodriguez as the center back, and it seemed like he had played a good role in leading that defense. When he came out, that's when the 2 goals in the middle of the field occurred.
Yeah.
You do wonder whether or not him being at full strength, rather than playing 135 minutes in the stretch of 4 days after a long layoff, what that could do for this team too. Gavin. But for Phoenix, you would argue this is probably the biggest win in the Cartherone era so far.
Especially back in front of the home crowd, first time in a month, and we pointed out the schedule does allow quite a few home games.
Dia continues on and sends it out in front. Newton corralled it.
This is the first of 4 of 5 at home, and they'll conclude the season with 3, so looks to be getting off to a good start this homestand.
3 straight at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, Seattle, Orange County, then at Colorado Springs, who have had a handful of really good results, including a 4-0 win over Orange County that certainly stood out Western Conference docket. Second minute of stoppage time. Dished wide, bouncing toward Williams. Goal kick for Phoenix as Williams paid the price. So too did Stewart.
Coming in, it was a good run, good ball in. It defense just enough not to allow Williams to be able to square up and put something on target.
And fans, while we do have a moment, thoughts go out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey. The USL encouraging fans to donate to the American Red Cross, 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text the word Harvey to 90999 to make a donation.
Might we see a caution here? One of the careless cautions is Dia just onto the field, and he'll play the ball well after the whistle, after being offside.
11 games in now. He's picked up 3 yellow cards, one that was a second yellow. Sent him off 2 games ago against RGV. They gave up a goal in the 5th minute of stoppage time, proved to be the equalizer. Hamilton. Johnson. Slip ball through for Phoenix. Cortez. Newton denying Cortez a 3rd goal this week.
Now, see that ball all the way across. That was fantastic view, and Cortez just on the strike almost got it to bend back towards the near post as Newton leaning just a little bit. I was wrong. I was actually Johnson. I blamed Dia for the yellow card.
That's only his 3rd of the year.
But you know what? That 5th one does, and with this stretch of games, that's a careless one that you just don't like to see.
Could be a difference maker. You never do know.
It's not like he's prone to them, but you get one there on the next game, and all of a sudden you're having to watch yourself for a 5-game stretch just not to get that 5th one.
Only the 10th start for Johnson, so he hasn't had a ton of opportunities, but the way he's performed over the last couple of months, really been impressive. Goes to Sacramento. Final seconds of stoppage time. Phoenix 3 points tonight, knocking off Sacramento at home. Full time. They only had 1 win in their last 8, and so this is a massive one for Patrice Carteron and Phoenix Rising. Cortez the early goal. Johnson and Ramage score shortly after halftime, and they stymie a Sacramento comeback in the second half to pick up a 3-point result at home.
Yeah, look, you got to win games at home. Phoenix has been on the road for a while, and as we pointed out, and we asked the question, Mike, you look at that 5 points in 3 games. Maybe did they lose 4 points on a couple of games that maybe should have gone their way, but they didn't let that happen behind them or didn't worry about that. They got the 3 points tonight. That's a big thing, especially against a team in front of them in the standings.
So Phoenix Rising picks up the result tonight. 3 goals, their offense back on track, a 3-point result over Sacramento. Happy news from the Jamaican, Jason Johnson, scoring the 2nd. Ramage sealing the deal. We wrap it up when we return.
Trolls.
Go, 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 go,
This is Contour from Cox. Cable TV, reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
La familia Heineken ha dejado un legado especial, una receta original con solo 3 ingredientes y todos naturales. Yo también tengo un don especial. La habilidad de llorar cuando se necesite. Bonita, ¿eh? Solo 3 ingredientes naturales. There's more behind a star.
El mundo está atento a Phoenix Rising Football Club, porque las leyendas internacionales Didier Drogba y Shaun Wright-Phillips juegan juntos para Phoenix y le dan a esta ciudad el fútbol de alta calidad que los fans esperan ver. Obtén tus boletos ahora antes que se agoten. Sábado 2 de septiembre contra Seattle Sounders Football Club 2. Phoenix Rising Football Club. Nuestra ciudad se levanta y el mundo está atento.
Another home game, another home result. Fans on their way home happy tonight. Phoenix Rising 3-1 over Sacramento Republic. Victors this evening. As we take a look back at how it all went down, our full-time highlights. Mike Pepper back with you. And early on, Phoenix, a good opportunity here from Johnson. He was a monster tonight.
Yeah, this is the first 20 seconds or so of the game and sent the ball across. Regi able to get that, but does put the shot over the net. But it was still a phenomenal start, and it was kind of a sign of things to come for Phoenix tonight.
Regi unable to find the goal this evening. Here's Shaun Wright-Phillips, 10th minute, steered in by Cortez.
Yeah, fantastic ball, near post. The run was all set. Everything perfectly connected, and Cortez does what a striker's supposed to do.
This ball knocked back into the attacking half. Cortez, give, go, give again. Johnson scores.
Yeah, that was just clinical. You look at that, you send in there Cortez. To see that out of the peripheral vision, cut it back, and a great finish by Johnson.
And then we see the quick response, Trevin Caesar off a bobble ball from Wazinski.
Yeah, and that's it. Wazinski's got to knock that one wide of the post. If you don't hang on to it, it's got to go wide of the post. Just deadening it perfect for Caesar.
Wasn't able to swipe it away for Caesar. It's another goal in the 50th minute this time, 7th goal of the year. So give Ramage the chance. Cortez back across, the net's empty, and he puts it in the 52nd.
Yeah, Newton a little ambitious off his line there. The punch didn't get any height. You're supposed to get height and distance. Didn't get either of that. It went into the ground and didn't go far, and Phoenix made him pay.
That's a well-struck corner by Shaun Wright-Phillips in the end. And Jason Johnson, a strong performance for Phoenix Rising tonight. And Jose Bosch is on the touchline.
We are here with tonight's man of the match, Chris Cortez. 1 goal and 2 assists. What clicked tonight?
I think just as a team we clicked, you know. I thought we did very well to read their pressure and be able to pick off penetrating passes and counter on it. And I thought we looked very good when we would break in numbers. And I thought we were very dangerous on that and capitalized on it.
Now, I saw at the end of the game here you had a chance, and I could just see by your body language that goal was looking very big to you. What would it have been like to get that second goal?
It would have been nice. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing, you know, for us is getting 3 points, starting the run at home that we have and everything. And so, you know, we're very excited to be able to get 3 points and be able to start taking advantage of these games in hand we have.
All right, and last question. Do you want to know the result of McGregor-Mayweather fight?
No, not yet. I think we're gonna someone will end up ruining it, you know. So we'll see.
All right, well, we'll let you be cute a surprise. 1 goal and 2 assists tonight. That's Chris Cortez. Guys, back to you.
Already? They already know?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
For the next 24 hours, fans can purchase $15 seats for just $10. Head to the club's Twitter and Facebook pages, PHX Rising FC, to find the special link. Buy your tickets, because when Phoenix wins, you win. On to the next home match, September 2nd, against Sounders FC 2. 3 different goal scorers. Cortez in the 10th, Johnson in the 48th, Ramage in the 52nd. It's a 3-1 win for Phoenix tonight. For Eddie Suarez, Sharni Yerke, Jonathan Tellicher, Jose Bosch on the touchline, and Mike Pepper. Mike Watts saying so long. Phoenix toward playoff position, finishes 3-1. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.